guys, what's going on? It's me, Will, and I'm back with another music update video. And as usual, I'm gonna show you some vinyl as well as some CDs and some clips from some concerts that I've been going to in the last few months or so. And again, I'm still trying to catch up on some of these music update videos, so just so you know, a lot of these clips as well as the records that I'm gonna show you in this video are gonna be from way earlier in this year, perhaps from the April or May timeframe of 2017. But anyways, let's go ahead and check it out, and let's start off with a really good band out of Athens, Georgia. And of course, being a band from Georgia, they play a lot of shows here in Atlanta, and every time they play here I try to go see them because they put a lot of energy in their shows. You've heard me talk about this band before. It's a band with a very unique name. The band is called Motherfucker, and it's a trio, and they play hard rock music, definitely on the harder side of rock and roll, but with a lot of punk rock influences. And it's crazy to see that they are just a trio because they put out so much music with just 3 band members. That was the Athens, Georgia band, Motherfucker, playing at the Earl back in April 8th of this year of 2017. One of my favorite venues in Atlanta, the Earl, a very small and intimate venue, a great venue if you want to go see punk rock music. And since I was there, of course, I picked up a record that I've been wanting to buy from them for a while. This is their last album. It's called Confetti, and it came out in 2015 on Sick Room Records. I didn't get it signed by the band because I had to leave the show early, but I'm sure I'm gonna see them again. So hopefully next time I see them, I'll get them to sign the album. And here's the album. They used to have a different bass player in the band that you see right there in the picture in the back. Came in with a really nice inner sleeve with the actual hole in the middle for the label. Love the artwork for this record by the band, and I was surprised to see that it also came in with in color vinyl, transparent light blue record. Great looking record, sounds awesome with the custom labels. Really good album by the band. My favorite song in this record is the very last song in the album that is almost an instrumental track. It's a song called Zang. Let's go ahead and check out a short clip from that song. Alright, so let's move on to the next show, and actually it was also at the Earl. Again, one of my favorite venues in Atlanta, especially to go see punk rock music. And speaking of punk rock music, I went to see CJ Ramone on April 17 of this year of 2017. Of course, CJ Ramone, the former bass player of the legendary Ramones. He played with his band at the Earl. But before talking about CJ, I wanted to talk briefly about a band that opened for CJ Ramone and his band. It's a band called Bright Eyes, and I honestly did not know much about this band before going to the show, but I was very impressed by this band. Punk rock music, very catchy, a little bit leaning towards the pop punk kind of style that I really like. All right, let's move on now to the actual CJ Ramone show. CJ, like I said before, the former bass player of the legendary Ramones. He was, of course, not the original bass player. He came in later in the careers of the Ramones when Didi went on to pursue his rap career, I guess. But it's a band member that I really liked for a long time because I liked the fact that he put a lot of personality in the bass playing, and he also sang in a lot of the songs from the Ramones. And I was very curious to see this show because I've never seen a CJ Ramone show before. I've never seen a Ramones member before in my life, in person at least. So I was very excited about that, and of course the show was fantastic. He played a lot of songs from his new album called American Beauty, which is really good, which I'll show you in a few minutes. But also he played a lot of Ramone songs as well, which was really cool. I think that's when the crowd really got most into the show. And near the end of the show, which was a surprise for me, Joe Queer from the band The Queers came in and joined CJ to sing some of the Ramone songs as well, which was awesome. Alright, so that was the legendary CJ Ramone playing live here at the Earl in Atlanta. Great show, as you can see from the video, and if you watch my videos, you know I'm a huge fan of the Ramones. Of course, I was very excited to see the show. I talk about the Ramones pretty much in every other video that I make. So I was very excited to see one of the former members of the Ramones, and not only to hear the classic Ramones being played, but I was also very curious about the new music, or the original music by CJ, which is, in my opinion, is very good. Very influenced by the lyrics and the music from Joey Ramone. If you listen to a lot of the new music by CJ, you can easily see that it's very similar to like the later songs in the careers of the Ramones that were written and sang by Joey Ramone. Some of the songs, especially from the new album, sound very similar to those kind of Joey Ramone songs. So yeah, very influential, Joey Ramone. And after the show, I shamelessly stole one of the posters from the venue promoting the show. But in my opinion, if it's after the show, they don't have any use for the poster, so I just went ahead and stole it because I thought it was really cool. And one thing that I didn't know, the bandmates for CJ that are playing in the tour right now are some members from the Adolescents and the Street Dogs, as you can see right there in the poster. A really cool poster with the artwork from the new album. And I was also able to, I actually bought a sticker from the merch table that says CJ Ramone American Punk with a really cool bass right there. And I also was able to grab the actual set list from the show, which is a really cool souvenir of the actual show. I don't know if you can see it there, but you can see that it was actually stepped on by some of the band members during the show. But yeah, really cool. You can see right there the track lists, or the set list, I guess, with some original songs by CJ, as well as some of the classic Ramones tunes, especially near the end. And just so you know, just some original, or I guess some of the older songs by the Ramones were Rockaway Beach, Do You Wanna Dance, Sheena is a Punk Rocker, KKK, the KKK Took My Baby Away, California Sun, Cretin Hop, I Wanna Be Sedated, Blitzkrieg Bop, and Ramones Ramones. Really great set list by CJ playing live. I was also able to buy the new album by CJ. This one's called American Beauty and just came out earlier this year in 2017 on Fat Records. Really cool new album by CJ. Like I said before, very catchy melodic music, melodic punk rock. In the back you get a picture of the band with CJ in the front and the track list. And just so you know, CJ still plays the bass in his new band, same as he did with the Ramones. He didn't change to the guitar. The record comes with a nice insert with all the lyrics. And the record itself came in on standard black vinyl. And there's the hype sticker there too. Records and custom labels. Alright guys, so before moving on to the next show, just one quick thought about CJ Ramone, his original new music. In my opinion, it's very interesting to hear new music by CJ because it kind of gives you an idea of what could have happened perhaps if the Ramones had kept on playing at the time where they retired from music back in the early 90s. Because I read something that when the Ramones quit, they played the last few shows, I think in California, and of course the band members weren't getting along. Joey was very sick, so they knew that they had to quit at some point, and they called it quits, of course. But they, I think at that point, they got an offer from someone to do some more shows in South America. And they got offered a lot of money, and of course some of the band members were considering still staying together to play some of those shows in South America, but Joey said absolutely not. He was not going to approve that, and of course being the lead voice of the Ramones, they had to call it quits right there, and they did not play those shows. But hearing CJ's new music as a lead singer and playing music that was so influenced by the Ramones, it's very interesting to see, and it kind of gives you an idea of what the Ramones could have become if they had kept on playing in the mid to late 90s with CJ as a lead singer of the Ramones, without Joey. Of course, that could have never happened because Joey is so legendary with the Ramones and so iconic, but it kind of gives you an idea of what maybe could have happened if CJ had taken over the lead singer roles of the role of the Ramones. Just some food for thought, I guess, what could have happened, because CJ was already singing some of the Ramones songs back in the near the end of the Ramones careers. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next show. And I was again very excited about seeing this band live. I'm talking about one of my favorite new punk rock or pop punk and punk rock bands, I guess, right now. I'm talking about Diet Sig, and they played a show here at the Masquerade. Was the pop punk duo from New York, Diet Sig, playing live at the Masquerade in Atlanta just a few months ago, in April 21st of this year, 2017. And I got really into this band last year. I got a chance to see them 3 times at music festivals and at shows here in Atlanta, and every show with them is so much fun because they just put so much energy in their concerts, and their music is just so catchy and so melodic that it's very easy to have fun in their shows. And as you can see there in the video, she just when Alex performs as a guitar player and a singer, she dances, she jumps around the stage, she just gets really into the audience, in the energy of the audience, and she just puts a great show, and she has a great stage presence, as you can see in the video. And it's just so much fun to see them live. If you get a chance to see Diet Sig live, do not miss them because they're really fun. But anyways, they put out a new album this year, and of course when they announced it, this is their first album. When they announced it, I went ahead and pre-ordered it because I knew for sure that I was gonna like it. And this is their newest album called Swear I'm Good at This, which I love the title of this album because it kind of it's something that they would say to someone that asked them about their new album, and like saying that hey, I swear that I'm good at this. I'm sure I'm good at punk rock, and they are definitely very good at punk rock. And this one came out earlier this year in 2017 on French Kiss Records. As you can see right there, I got a chance to get him signed by the band after the show. Really cool album cover, and in the back the track list. And it did come with a nice insert with a booklet style with more artwork. I love the artwork find a lot of kind of hidden jokes inside the artwork, and it's just really cool with the lyrics as well. Here's some pictures of dogs. And the record, since I pre-ordered it, I was able to grab one of the limited edition copies on gold vinyl, which is really cool looking. I'll show you. Gold vinyl with the custom labels. So yeah, really good album. In my opinion, this is everything that I would have expected from the brand new Diet album. Like I said before, extremely catchy, melodic pop punk music. Alright guys, so I know this is already a very long video, but I still want to show you a couple more things. I did pick this up on CD only. This is the Cranberries, and this is their newest release called Something Else, and it came out just a few months ago in 2017 on BMG Records. And of course, I'm a 90s kid. I grew up listening to the Cranberries. I am not ashamed to say that I love the Cranberries. I love their music. They're, in my opinion, a classic 90s band. And when I saw that they were going to release this record, of course I picked it up. I just got it on CD, but the packaging on the CD is really cool. Of course, it has a clear reference to one of their previous albums, and it came in with a really nice thick booklet with some pictures of the band. And this is not officially, I guess, a new studio album. This is more of a compilation, but it's really cool what they did here. Of course, they have some of the classic hits by the Cranberries, as you can see right there in the track list. Songs by Linger, Dreams, When You're Gone, Zombie, some of the classic songs by the Cranberries. But these are played in a different way. I guess they played an alternative version of the songs where they use a lot of acoustic instruments as well as an orchestra for a lot of those songs, which is very cool to hear that kind of like a different way of playing the songs. It's definitely more emotional because of the acoustic instruments and the strings in the composition of the songs. So it almost sounds like new music, but it's obviously some of the classic songs by the classic hits by the Cranberries. Very cool. If you're into the Cranberries or 90s music, make sure that you check that out. And lastly, this is definitely not a new record. I just wanted to show you a quick pickup from the thrift store. I finally got lucky again in the thrift store. Usually when I've been going a lot to thrift stores, but I usually don't find anything, and if I do, they increase the price like crazy. In this case, I found a really good copy of Johnny Cash with at Folsom Prison, original copy from 1968 on Columbia Records, and this was not marked up. It was actually $1 that I paid for it, in really good condition, with the exception that it was kind of written in the back by somebody, I guess the former owner. I'm not exactly what they're trying to do there. I guess some kind of mathematical equation, but I don't care. The cover and the record itself were in excellent condition, especially just to have it for $1. Classic live album by Johnny Cash, maybe one of my favorite live albums of all time. Really cool to hear Johnny when he just says something really witty in between the songs. It's really cool to hear, and I got it with the original insert, like a promo insert. And this one came out on Columbia Records labels, on just standard black vinyl, of course. So yeah, really cool to own, because I do like, I'm not a huge country music kind of guy, but I do love Johnny Cash's music, and of course very happy to add this one to the collection. But anyways, that's all I have to show you VC for today. I will do another music update in the next few days, hopefully, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, VC, thank you for watching, and take care. Bye bye.